All right. Welcome back to the finale of game week 3. We are transitioning from game week 3 to game week 4 tonight. So you better get ready. All your chips, your captain chip is reactivated for yet another game week. Plus, your 2 free transfers are available to you starting tonight. Well, it started at the deadline of game day 7. So game day 7 was concluded. The couple of games that we had, I managed to field 4 players, and well, records continue to be set in the NBA. So welcome to the NBA Fantasy Salary Cap Edition update of game day 7, and we look ahead, of course, to game day 1, game week 4. All right, so I had a fairly calm finish to the game week after having above average for all the other days, with the exception of this day and game day 3, if I'm not mistaken, where there was the single game. That was Phoenix Suns taking on, forgetting the team they were playing, but on that day there was just a single game and I couldn't field a single player. So here we go. This is how the game week went. Just looking at the highlights. Of course, the game week kicked off with Houston Rockets taking on Milwaukee Bucks. The Rockets, of course, traveled back to Milwaukee to take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and company. This time round, I'll be bringing you the highlights as we go through some of the players that have actually played so well. As you can see there, the top 2 players from both the teams. Houston Rockets, Kevin Durant scoring 31 points in the game. Then, of course, for Milwaukee Bucks, we see Giannis Antetokounmpo scoring an amazing 37 right there. So as you can see, some of the highlights right there for you. Those are the highlights as I take you through the analytics. Interesting game. Actually, Milwaukee, I would say they actually have a shot this time round. They are a well-organized team, and there are some good chips. I think letting Damian Lillard go was good because they have some good players in Turner, AJ Green, and of course Rollins, the new and upcoming one. And I think they have a good squad, a good roster that can see them go deep into the season. So as you go through those highlights, I'll be taking you through the scores of the players. Kevin Durant in this game scored 31 points, and of course also got 7 assists in this one and 3 rebounds, scoring a total of 48 points in that game. Fantasy points, I mean, not the actual points. The actual points in the game was 31. That is Amen Thompson driving in, Alpen Şengün doing his thing. Speaking of Şengün right there, he scored a total fantasy points of 48 points in the game, and of course in the game he actually scored 23 points. He had a double-double, 23 points and 11 rebounds, with to couple it up with his 7 assists in the game. Şengün is a very good player. If you can get him, please get him. He's well priced. His price is currently at 16 million. So you can go ahead and get yourself Alpen Şengün, the Turkish superstar right there. So of course Rollins himself scored 34 points in the game. and of course a total of 19 points in the game and 5 assists there for him. He clocked 30 minutes in the game. I just want to look at Miles Turner himself as well. He also scored 39 points, fantasy points, and of course scored 13 points in the game right there for Turner. As you can see right there, Turner scored 13 points and of course 35 points for the Milwaukee Bucks. Those are the ones I can. So maybe a Maine Thompson managed to get 44 points right there in the game, scoring 14, and of course 8 rebounds and 5 assists for him right there. So that concluded the first game of the day. Of course, we saw Houston Rockets beating Milwaukee Bucks, and of course that gives Milwaukee Bucks just a second. Let's see where they're standing. So Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, that gives them their 4th defeat of the season, as you can see right there. And of course, they drop down to 6th place in the Western Conference. Let me just refresh that to be exact. Yes. So they have they are 6-4 for Milwaukee Bucks after that game. And of course, the Eastern Conference is currently being led by none other than Cade Cunningham and company, who have the best record in the East, just losing 2 right there. Okay, so coming back to the next game, of course, was Oklahoma City Thunders, and of course there we see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, showcasing they do not want to lose. They already lost a single game, you remember, and that was the game against the Portland Trail Blazers. They are the team that have so far outsmarted OKC. But Memphis Grizzlies were not away. They're just 14 points shy of actually stealing this one away from Oklahoma City Thunders. Of course, you can see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right there, scoring a total of 35 points in the game. Speaking of which, 35 points, make sure you're able to predict the scores. So these are the highlights.
Entry pass to Hartenstein, 10 to shoot.
Game.
Hartenstein from Holmgren
right there,
for the first basket of the game, and Hartenstein.
And it has come to fruition to the record of 9-1 to begin.
Jaren Jackson Jr. off glass and down. Jaren 17 points Friday against Dallas. Grizzlies winning 118-104.
In the comment section.
Jaren downhill early. No help defense coming. Had a one-on-one scenario.
Holmgren. Hartenstein again.
Nice handoff. Isaiah Heidenstein.
The bigs working together.
Right there in the game.
Morant
so
with a drive.
The game ended
one ball picked up by Landale. Picked up by Holmgren defensively. A Jaren 3 is through. Hartenstein with 9 to shoot. Gilgeous-Alexander drives against Wells. Baseline jumper. Short. When he gets his own miss. Challenges Landale. And hit for 30 on the nose at Sacramento. He's also one of only 4 players so far this year to rack up a 50-point game. Had 51 earlier. Jalen Wells from the baseline.
The reason why who has stepped in nicely has been A.J. Mitchell. Went down with the injury earlier. Nice drop.
Wow, pretty feed, Morant.
Caldwell
Pope with the bucket. Ties the game at 9, but you're right about A.J. Mitchell averaging almost 17 points a game. Had a double-double in the last out. And Shai
now made tasked with slowing down SGA.
And then Holmgren knocked down a 3. Morant, corner 3, bingo, Ja Morant.
When it comes to the style of the uniforms, and even now with the cup courts.
Hartenstein, man, he is just dominating inside. Leak out, Aldama beating Cason Wallace to the rim. Isaiah Wells against Gilgeous-Alexander flips it up and in.
Managed to get
Jalen to get himself in the paint but under
control.
right there for
Able just to fade enough on that little shot
right there, their anchor,
to get it to go down.
big man,
Wells with 4, Hartenstein
distributing the ball. Speaking of Wallace is actually among the
Wallace,
best skills player. That is Wallace who got it from deep. So if you can get him, he's good at bagging those skills. I'm actually going to show you some of the analytics that I have right here. If I could flip. Okay, so right here we are seeing the total analytics. This is organized by points. So let me go to steals. If you're to look at steals, so and then you look at the steals column right here. If you can see my cursor, let me see if I can try to blow this up. Okay, there it is. It's a bit bigger. So you can see in the steals column, the player that has the highest number of steals per game is actually Carson Wallace, the LKC boy. And you can see he's averaging 2.5 steals. And you know, in second place and should be number one by the end of the season, I think it's going to be Dyson Daniels again. Because last season, Dyson Daniels actually racked up most of these steals. Dyson Daniels has gone around, I think, 68 consecutive games with at least a single steal in each game. Right there for Dyson Daniels. He's actually a very good player if you can afford him. It's just that this season, his price salary was increased, of course. But Carson, I think, is someone you can get right there so that you can get these 2.5 times 3 points for yourself per game that this man shows in. So let's have a look at how he performed in this one. Carson Wallace, there he is. He had 6. He actually comes off the bench, so you shouldn't expect much in as far as points are concerned. But he will get you those steals, and you can see in this game he actually got 2 steals. There's a game he got 3 steals. There's a game he got 5 steals, then 4 steals. So you can see he's actually a steals magnet. He's rivaling Dyson Daniels right there. Then, of course, a look at Ja Morant. Ja Morant didn't do much. He's also an on and off person. 33 points in this game, scoring 11 in the game. Nearly a double-double, just falls 2 assists shy, just ending up with 8 assists in this game right there for him. It's just a continuation of the highlights right there. Okay, my PC is starting to malfunction. So let's see. Let us just stick to the in-game play. Right there, I think it started malfunctioning when I tried to blow up the analytics so that you're able to see them right. Okay, so we continue. The next game was, of course, Brooklyn Nets. Of course, we saw OKC win that one because and OKC, of course, is leading the Western Conference, and they are the team to beat. If you ask me, they are the team to beat. They have only lost a single game, and so they have a 10-1 record this season. Okay, so we see Kyle Anthony Towns coming out roaring in this one, and Michael Porter Jr. has had some good games under his belt consecutively. It's just that his team is not doing well, but Porter Jr. is actually bowling. He has been bowling well in the last 3 games. Actually, if you to see all the games he has bowled, he's averaging around 40 fantasy point assists per game. I'm sure it falls shy of 40, but it looks good. It looks good on paper. So in the game, he managed to score. This is Kevin Porter Jr. managed to score 25 points for his team and 4 rebounds right there. Then, of course, Kyle Anthony Towns managed to score 28 points for the New York Knicks, which totaled up to 50 fantasy points right there for the big man, Kyle Anthony Towns. He had a double-double right there, 12 rebounds as well for his squad right there. Then Jalen Brunson Jalen Brunson was in the game himself as well, managing to score 20. I think I know why. Okay, let's stop these ones. These ones can play better. So these are the highlights from the Brooklyn Nets game.
Towns goes right at Claxton again. Feels he has the advantage and goes on that possession. Here's Brunson. Nice crossover. Gets in the paint. Kicks it back up top. Towns the extra pass. Bridges corner three. Got it. Bridges has been rebounding very well early in the season. Now on the drive. And Anunoby, his corner three. That's good. Knicks have been lethal from the corner so far this season.
Yeah, between OG and Mikal, two guys that have been shooting the corner three better than just about anyone in the league, and that is where there is some gold. You get to those corners, you'll get shots.
Michael Porter Jr. And Anunoby drives on Claxton this time, gets in the paint, kicks it out Towns. Shot clock at 6, and Towns an easy bucket. Knicks have hit 4 of their first 5. Jordy Fernandez wants timeout. Fires his corner three. Robinson's battling. There's the offensive rebound and putback. Been solid in that department. They're 4th in the NBA in turnovers per game. Porter comes back. Porter scores again.
Whoever's on him, Mikal, OG, they better be ready to get a hand up.
He's already had 2 30-point games. Brunson, hesitation, scoop layup, and the foul from behind. Great footwork of Jalen Brunson. Porter, the runner, and Porter scores again. He's 4 for 5. I think he likes this role.
He does. I know, the more you read about his career, where he's currently at, it was the shadow of Nikola Jokic, and I was thinking, he's pretty good.
Bridges rattles in another. Good transition defense that time from Brooklyn. Inside is Zaire Williams. Not good transition defense that time by the Knicks.
A little bit of life for Brooklyn. This is a team that they definitely have been a good first quarter team, and so it started a little bit slow, but now they're picking it up late in the quarter.
Bridges from both corners. Mikal Bridges 3 for 3 from long distance here in the opening period. McBride off the bounce. Finds Brunson in the corner. Fires away and hits it, and a foul. Chance for a 4-point play. He got double teamed and passed to.
Look at that final score.
You look at players like,
so as you can see right here,
Liddell banks in the three-pointer. Players like Gilman, they shoot 54% from the field, 17 threes.
134 for the Brooklyn Nets. For the New York Knicks, they beat the Brooklyn Nets right there. Okay, so moving on to the next game. The next game was, of course, Boston Celtics taking on. This one was close because it was just decided by 4 points. So maybe we shall see the last minutes right there of this one. Of course, Boston Celtics managed to win this one, which actually I think gives them some good fixtures. Let me just have a look at the analytics. Where could Boston Celtics be? They are in the East. Boston Celtics, they are having a tough season this time round, yet they used to be the kings of the East. The kings of the East. Right there, number 10, that's Boston Celtics. They are 5-6, still shy of the .500 point. But they are well in for the play-in tournament, which is not a very bad position, but it is still terrible by their standards. Because remember, they are in the league of the Lakers in the West. So, because you know the dominance that they had between Boston's, and of course the rivalry as well between Boston Celtics and the LA Lakers. But seeing them here, of course, this is because of the injury to their star player who tore his Achilles last season, which was a sad thing. He was actually in the playoffs. It was a sad picture right there for Tatum. tore his Achilles in the game. So they are not doing well this season, but it is expected. So of course, Jalen Brown is taking on the big load of the duties, the lion's share of the duties. He managed to score 40 points, fantasy points in the game, scoring 27 and 5 rebounds right there for his team. Then Simons, of course, managed to score 25 points in the game, 32 right there for his team. So just a look at the highlights for that one. Just a second. Boston, Orlando.
In the center
right
jump
there.
circle.
So I'll take you through the
Magic
highlights
control the
right
opening
there.
tip, and here we
Of
go
course,
on Sunday night.
Banchero managed to score
Magic
28
and the
points
Celtics.
for his team right there.
Wow.
And
Into the paint. Fadeaway shot over Banchero is good.
Yeah.
That's we talked about
Then,
that.
of
That's
course,
just no way to defend that one. The pick and roll between Paolo and Desmond has been very effective.
Steal.
And,
Sucks.
was Franz
Throws
Wagner.
it down.
Franz Wagner
Big time
managed to
one-handed
get,
jam by Jalen Suggs.
points in this one.
All around the
Scoring
board.
a
Nobody
total
gets
of
on the floor
20
except Keta
points,
that
nearly
can't shoot the long ball.
double for him.
How about
Only
that
managed
block?
to get
Anthony
9
Black
rebounds
rams
in
it in.
this one and 3 assists, with a total of 2 steals for his squad right there. Then, of course, the total points, fantasy points, were 41 right there for Franz Wagner. Then Derek White, 41 points as well. Fantasy points, scoring 21 in the game, 3 assists.
Off
and
target,
4
rebounded by Brown.
The grandkids like to play down on the carpet.
Brown is
3 rebounds and
dunks
4
it in.
assists right there.
Takes
for
a
him.
tumble.
Then again,
call
we
a
look
foul. I
at
heard a whistle,
Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs was actually a good player last season for me. He was consistent, with the exception of the injuries that he got. But in this game, of course, he managed to score 20 points in the game and fall shy of a double-double, scoring 8 rebounds for the Orlando Magics in this one. That's 45 fantasy points for him right there, Jalen Suggs. So let's take a look at the final 1 minute in the fourth quarter. This is Paul Banchero with a mid-range shot, bringing it to within 1 point, and we have seconds on the clock right there. Okay, my PC is freezing. All right, so that's how that one ended. Of course, it was a closer one, but of course, Boston Celtics managed to get that one home. Then, of course, we had yet another one, a clash of the Titans. Before I take you through this one, let us just have a look at the impact that this game had, looking at our analytical view. This is in the Western Conference. Now, if you remember, 76ers were at some point in second place. They were in second place as we speak. Actually, this is very, very competitive. We normally see the competition in the Western Conference, but even the East is becoming heated with the resurgence of the Chicago Bulls. New York Knicks have been there. Of course, it's not a resurgence. Then, of course, Cleveland Cavaliers who have also been there. Milwaukee Bucks has been there as well. Now, the newcomers are Miami Heats that are coming through, Philadelphia 76ers, and Detroit Pistons, who are actually leading in the East. They are 8-2. They have only lost just 2 games. And of course, Philly was not far off from them, but Philly has lost 2 straight games, if I'm not mistaken. They have lost 2 straight games, and of course, one of them is Detroit Pistons, which is the one that they played last night. And of course, Detroit Pistons was not willing to relinquish their top spot to anyone. They managed to get to win that game 111 to 108. So just a difference of 3 points. I have the highlights for you. We're going to go through them, but just a highlight of some of the best players that played in this one. Of course, Cade Cunningham. I'm actually tempted to bring him because this man is awesome. Awesome. Yeah, he is awesome. Remember, I have my 2 free transfers, so that's something to consider to bring in this player right here. He had a double-double in this one, scoring 55 points and fantasy points, and of course 26 in the game and 11 assists right there for Cade Cunningham. Then, of course, Tyrese Maxey, just a look at where he is in the standings, the player standings. Remember, he was in the top player standings right there, leading the leaderboard together with Giannis Antetokounmpo. If I'm to go to points per game, refreshed. There he is. He's in second place. He's just 33.2 points per game. That's his average point score. And he's just 6.6 shy of the top spot, which is held by Giannis Antetokounmpo with 33.8 points right there in the game for him. All right, that's Tyrese Maxey. So in this one, he managed to score 57 fantasy points. That's 33 in the game. This man is always averaging 30 per game. Actually, this is another player that I'm considering to bring. So it's between Cade Cunningham and this boy here, Tyrese Maxey. But I think Tyrese beats him because of that average high scoring percentage for himself, meaning he's consistently high. So a look at the highlights for this one.
In the center jump.
For a second, I pull them up for you.
Pistons.
So there they
Cade backs in.
Cade
Swings up a lefty hook. Won't
right
fall.
there.
Rebound taken away from Andre. And a
Alright,
jam
so
for Asar Thompson. Rebray to the lane, nearly lost
Amen
it. Backs up to
Thompson
the corner.
Sorry, that's
Tries to go inside.
that
Watford. Pistons take it away on the run to Asar. Off the square for a score. 5 seconds to play in the first.
He managed to score.
Karis LeVert with a long three, splashes it down from downtown.
Holy cow.
Asar comes to get it in the corner.
In this one, let me just crank up the fun, maybe pull down my
Cade double, lobs to Jalen Duran for a jam.
This will put the dragging, the breaking.
Cade against Edgecombe. Cade to the basket.
So, right there,
Banks
and
it
then
in.
scored 14 points.
Andre Drummond with the basketball, bounces it to McCain.
So, then, of course,
The baseline, blocked out of bounds by Jalen Duran. Come the Pistons, trailing by 7.
1 point in this one,
Important possession.
points.
Cade backs down,
and
turns and
double
fires and
post.
fills it up.
Rebounds.
Effortless, and now it's a
That's
5-point
Cade
Philly
right
lead.
there.
Watford has to give it up.
For his
Maxey goes baseline. Maxey
Remember,
gets
they
it
are top
squashed.
of the West, and that's
And
Duran
saved
with
by Jalen Duran. What a play.
rejection. And
Cade
then a
on the
fast
run.
break
Cade
led
to the
by
rim, lays
Cade
it up, lays
Cunningham.
it in.
Basket
Count
right there,
that,
not
baby,
one
and
for
a
him.
foul.
You had two guys running
What
the
a
wing.
play.
First of all,
Look at
beautiful
Duran.
block,
That's
keeping
Tyrese
it
Maxey
inbounds.
rejected
Jalen
by
Duran.
Duran.
Now the Pistons got their
Then a
hands
fast break. Wow, that's amazing. Everything goes
Cade
through
rifles
this
a
man.
pass inside
That's
for
Duran.
Jalen Duran. JD off the glass.
Pulls
and
his way
good.
into the
Count
basket
that, baby,
right
and a
there.
foul.
They were
to try
not
to
going to
defend on Jalen Duran. Watch this. He's just
relinquish the
going to
top
power
right there.
right through.
So,
I believe that's Edgecombe.
yeah, so that's how that one
It
went.
is
had
Edgecombe,
no
rookie.
Highlights.
chance.
Of course, this Draymond is actually a very good
That's-
center.
Just under 2 to
So
play.
aggressive,
Huge
managed to
possession
score,
for the Pistons.
39 points right there. 17
Cade drives it, jams
and
it.
12 rebounds. Just know
A
if it's
huge
rebound,
dunk.
he's going to fight for it.
On a huge possession.
For you.
Baby, and a
Clinton
foul.
Grimes managed to score 13 points in this one. So this is towards the end. That's Cade Cunningham right
Can never
there,
stop
doing
appreciating
his
that.
thing.
Cade Cunningham was able
All right,
Baby, and a foul.
that's Cade cooking.
Huge possession
Let's just
for
rewind
the
a bit.
Pistons.
So Cade goes in.
Cade drives it,
Basket.
jams it.
Wow,
A huge dunk
that's what's up.
on a huge
That's
possession.
what's up.
Baby,
This is
and a
in the
foul.
fourth towards the end. We are leading the East and no one is going to say anything about it. The 76ers could not.
can never stop
Kelly
appreciating
Oubre
that.
was right
Cade
there
Cunningham was able to
over
turn.
Draymond. Wow, that was a game and a half right there. That was a game and a half right there. Okay, let's see if I can play them again. All right. Let's come back to the game. So that was awesome right there from the Phoenix Suns, from the Detroit Pistons. Then, of course, Indiana Pacers took on Golden State Warriors. This one was not
Pistons.
really a game.
Cade backs in.
It was not really a game because the Golden State Warriors just cruised past Indiana, scoring a total of 114 points to 83. Gerard Butler there scored 21 points
Shot
for
clock
his
at
squad.
7
Just a
for
few
Schroeder.
highlights. Oh wait, this is the
time.
Minnesota game. Sorry. Yeah, this is the Golden State Warriors game right there. Okay, so that was the tip-off, and of course the game kicked off. Podzinski is the one that is going to take the lion's share of the ball in point guard with the absence of Stephen Curry, who is out with illness. Then, of course, this young man right here, Schroeder, is a very good player in the game. He managed to score a total of... Wait, I'm still in the Kings game. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is Sacramento. Okay, these are the wrong highlights. My bad. This was the game before. But the game last night, of course, Gerard Butler managed to score 21 points in the game for his team, of course, right there. Just hold on. Let me stop these highlights so that they do not take up space. Okay, so Gerard Butler may be someone you can consider in the absence of Steph Curry. He could take the lion's share of the duty, but and he's actually a well-rounded player because he gets those assists, he also gets the rebounds, and he actually also scores, and he will also get the occasional steal every once in a while. So in this one, he managed to score 53 fantasy points right there. Then, of course, the final game of the night was Timberwolves, Sacramento Kings, which highlights I think I have right here. Yes, right there. Okay, so as we go through, of course, Anthony Edwards was crazy in this one, managed to score 46 points. 26 points in the game, 4 rebounds and 5 assists, which is a total of 46 fantasy points for Anthony Edwards. Remember, he had been away for a while, but he came back and he's doing his thing. Jaden McDaniels is also showing up on the scores, managed to score 38 points right there, 21 fantasy points for himself in the game right there. DeMar DeRozan scored 32 points. 22 points in the game and 32 total fantasy points. Domantas Sabonis was actually injured, but he's back after 2 games, scoring 42 fantasy points, 20 points, and a double-double, 13 rebounds in the game right there for Dante Sabonis. So, of course, that concluded our game week 7 of game day 7 of game week 3, and of course it saw me get 7 for Mignon. Wow, Mignon, really? There's a time I benched Mignon and he got around 40 something points, and the time I start him he gives me 7. This game is something else. Anyway, so HBJ Edgecombe scored 27, Rawlings 34, AJ Mitchell continues to impress with 44 points right there for me. So can you guess who our player of the day was, of the night? Going once, going twice, and our player of the night was none other than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Remember, he is the MVP, the reigning MVP, after even scoring the highest points average last season. So he's back yet again and is high up there. You remember the leader was Giannis Antetokounmpo with 33.8. So he's shy by just 0.6 from the top spot. And of course, he has the same point scoring average with Tyrese Maxey, who are both tied at 33.2 points per game. So, of course, they managed to beat Memphis Grizzlies right there, 114 to 100. He scored 35 points in the game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 blocks, two steals, and a total of 60 points right there. So a look at my lineup ahead of tonight's games. Finally, I am going to field, of course, Wemby, who will be playing. Then Kakbruni. Kakbruni is actually good. Wanted to show you those. He actually has a very high, forgetting in which field where he is actually scoring higher than the rest of the players. But anyway, we shall look at that later as we're running out of time. So let me set this team and give you a sneak peek. I'm going to give Reeves, but I know he will not play. So let me just move George close here so that if Reeves does not play, but if he doesn't play, they'll bring in the other player. But if he plays, I don't want to risk not having him play. Yet he played. So that's the squad. I'm not going to use my captaincy chip yet. I always use it on Nikola Jokic, but I think I'm going to use it on this Kings game for Nikola Jokic. All right, the very first game he usually scores highly in the first games of the week. But anyway, so that's the squad. Wembenyama, Kirk Bruni, Reeves, though I'm not sure he's going to play. He's supposed to be coming back on tonight's game. Hopefully, he will be fit to play. Then, of course, Rawlings, Jules, Holiday, right there concludes my first team. Then on the bench, of course, I'll put George in the hopes that he will be subbed in the place of Reeves, should Reeves not show up. So that's the squad, guys. All the best as we start game week 4 of the season, day 1. So that is all from me. Remember, the player of the night was Shai Alexander, and of course, they are doing so well this season. So, guys, peace out. Until next time, I'm out.